Hello everybody, this is Tim from Boatshed Yacht Brokers, and it strikes me quite often we do meet boat owners who aren't sure what the gauges on their motorboats mean or what they should be looking for, etc. So I just thought I'd go through and explain just the very basics without wanting to patronise anybody, but we'll just run through what each gauge means and kind of what sort of things you should be looking for when you start your engine up. So we're on this Maxim 33 Endurance, which has got quite a nice array of instruments there, and it does show all the basics that we want. So I'll start from left and I'll go right. So here on the left hand side here we've got the port engine tachometer. Now the port engine and the starboard engine are both shut down at the moment, and this shows the speed of the engine in revolutions per minute, so how many times per minute the engine is actually spinning. Okay, so 10, 20, 30 would equal 1000, 2000, 3000, etc, etc, but the engine's at rest, so nothing's going to happen there. Underneath the gauge here is a set of warning lights, although these are all extinguished because the engine's not running and we don't have any warning lights. Now this gauge and these warning lights are for the port engine, this gauge and these warning lights are for the starboard engine. Simple as that. And then in the middle here we've got a gauge showing us the depth under the boat at the moment, 3.9 meters, and also the boat speed through the water, not over the ground, which at the moment is 0 because we're not doing anything, so that's showing correctly. And then underneath here is the rudder angle indicator, so it's really nice and useful to know where your outdrives or where your rudders are pointing on these power boats, so that when you start the engines up you can make sure you've got them centralized or in the position that you want. I won't move the wheel to show you this moving because the camera is actually attached to the wheel at the moment. But if we move over to this side of the cluster here, so we've got the port engine temperature and the port engine oil pressure, starboard engine temperature, starboard engine oil pressure as well. So these are all on engine gauges or taking readings directly from the engine, and I'll go into those at the moment. Then on the left, underneath on the right hand side here, we've got the port engine battery level, starboard engine battery level, and they're all reading 0 because at the moment the engines are isolated and turned off. And then just further over here, which I won't go into in this video too much, we've got the angle of the outdrives here, up or down, and we've also got the fuel contents gauge there too. But let's concentrate on the engine. So I'm going to use the port engine only at the moment. So we're looking at the port tacho, and we're looking at the port engine temperature and the port engine pressure. So if I go for a start, what we should probably see initially is this tacho will rise up to around about 800 to 1000 here, which is indicating that the engine is spinning, so you've got that proof that the engine's running, on top of the fact that you can hear the engine noise running behind and underneath us anyway. The next thing that is most likely to come up on a cold engine is the oil pressure. So you're looking to see this rising quite nice and quickly and uniformly up to around 60 psi or slightly higher. So that means you've got oil lubricating your engine, and all those sliding parts or interacting parts that shouldn't be sticking together have got a nice healthy oil supply. And then probably the third one on a cold engine will be this one. As the engine's cold it will read 0, but as the engine warms through you should see this temperature gauge rise up, and as you're using your engine and you're putting load on it and driving it, you'll probably see it rise to around about 80 degrees. Now the port engine on this boat is warm, it's been warmed through, so when I start it you will see the gauges rise as if it was a warm engine. So let's go ahead and I'll just talk you through it as quickly as I can. So let's go to ready to go. So we've got the Volvo EDC system there, so I'll go for a start now, and we're looking, first of all we'll see this tacho here rise up, there we go, to just over 1000, 1200 there. Remember these gauges aren't always very accurate, and you always have to take into account parallax error, which I can cover in another video. But straight away we saw the oil pressure rise, and you can see we've got about 30 psi there, which is nice and healthy. That's a good pressure for your engine, maybe a bit higher on other applications. And just above that we've got the engine water temperature here, which as you can see is just over 60, and a good temperature considering the engine has been used earlier on, has cooled down and has been shut down for a while. So that will rise when we put the engine under load, which I'm not going to do now. So I hope that run through of the instruments gives you an idea of what you should be looking for when your engines start. It's not a good idea just to start and assume everything's okay. Always check your engine started. You're listening for the noise, you're watching the revolutions rise here, you're looking for the oil pressure to rise really quickly to give you the lubrication, and over time you're looking for the engine coolant to increase in temperature as well. So hope that gives you really got a good basic idea. Remember, not all boats are the same, and remember you should consult an expert and check the manual on your own boat before you go for the start. Okay, thanks for watching. Get in touch if you'd like any more information, or if you'd just like to chat in general. All right, thanks for watching. Take care. Goodbye.